Alright, so we have all of our blend shapes set up. They've already been connected to our bridge and our original geometry. Now, how do we connect our blend shapes to our controls? So if we were doing a model, it would have been, smile, blink, things like that, but in this case we're just using simple geometry. So first things first, we need to find our blend shape editor, and that will be under Windows, Animation Editors, Blend Shape. And that pops up, and we already have the bridge set to 1, which is how we always want it to be. And we have our cat ears and all that fun stuff. So what we're going to use is we're going to actually use set driven key, which we went over last time, which is really fun. So we're going to go into animate, set driven key, set. And our set driven key pops up. So we want to keep our blend shapes up, and we want to keep set driven key up. So what we want is we want our controller to control the blend shape going up and down in here. So first and foremost, we're going to load the controller as the driver. So go to load, select it as driver in the set driven key. And then we're going to find our blend shape. So in this one, it's the cat ears. So we have to find our cat ears. Here it is. We're going to press the select button right here. We're going to go to load, select it as driven. So we have our cat ears controller, we have our cat ears blend shape. So the way we're going to set this up is we want it to work on our translate X. So if we go into our channel box, this is moving on the translate X. Alright. So now what we want to do is we want to key it. So you can go in here and key it and everything, but you usually don't want your animators touching these controls or your bones or anything like that. So we're going to just make it really easy and set up a control system for them to use. So we find our translate X. There it is, and we're setting up our 0 point, remember, because we always have to set up our 0 point. We find our cat ears. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm selecting that. This is what we're controlling right now, is the cat ears are at 0. And we're going to key it. And you see it turns red. So now we need to move our translate across the control box. And I'm just going to do it at 3. And as it goes across the control box, we're going to have our cat ears. And it's going to go up to 1. And we're going to key. So now when we move this back and forth, it has keyed our blend shape. And we can go ahead and grab our translate, put it at 0, and it goes away. And we're just going to do this for the rest of them. So in this one, we have the hourglass over here. So we're going to find our hourglass. There it is. So we select it. We're going to load that one as the driven. And what we want to be the driver is the controller that's going to do that. So this controller that's called hourglass control, we're going to load that as the driver. We find our translate X, hourglass, and we're going to key our 0 point. And then we are going to key the blend shape at 3. So when translate X gets to 3 points, the blend shape turns completely on, and that's what we want. So I find my blend shape. Here's the hourglass. I'm going to plop that back up. So now that when I go into here and I key it, that blend shape will now turn on when I move the controller. And I'm going to do that for the last 2. So our next one is the acorn. Here's our acorn. Select it. load selected as driven. Find our controller. Here's my Acorn controller. We're going to load that as the driver because that is what is driving the driven. It just controls this. Okay, so Acorn translate X is going to control the Acorn key. And then we're going to do one more. Where we move this over to 3 on the translate X. And we're going to bring this all the way up. And we're going to key it. So now I can move this third controller back and forth. And that will come on. Now we have our last one, which is the rock. So we're going to find our rock in the blend shapes window. And here it is. We're going to select it. We're going to load it as the driven. Then we're going to get our fourth controller, our rock controller. And we're going to load that as the driver. We're going to do translate X. That is going to connect to the rock and key. And always leave your envelope alone. You don't want to mess with that. Now we're going to translate that guy over 3 points. We're going to bring this up all the way. And we're going to key. So now all of our blend shapes work. And they are connected to our controllers. And later we'll add limits. That way they don't exit the control box. And that's it. You've connected your blend shapes to your controllers.